you are like most people, you will spend a quarter of your life working. You will also spend the equivalent of 4 weeks more than workers did 25 years ago. If you work in the United States, you are part of a workforce who spends more time in the job than any other industrial nation in the world. In fact, scientists have discovered that workload is one of the leading causes behind stress. Occupational stress. Good day, everyone. I'm so pleased to have you here, and thank you very much for sharing this time with me. My name is Jeline Ayers, and I've been invited by the Business Department of Hudson Valley Community College to speak with you about occupational stress. First, we'll have a look at what occupational stress really is. Then we'll look at its causes, which at this point includes the economic recession, our status as a developed society, as well as living in the information age. Next, we'll look at the symptoms of occupational stress, which can be physical, mental, as well as social. And last, we'll look at what we can do practically about occupational stress, and this includes organizing, having healthy habits, positive thinking, socializing, as well as keeping our jobs. This is to keep control over occupational stress instead of it keeping control over us. Now, what is occupational stress? As an employee, you're probably more familiar with this concept than you'd like to be. Have you ever heard the saying, "A little bit of stress can be good for you"? This saying, however, incorrectly equates challenges with stress. Challenges are good for you. They motivate you to learn new things and to do better on your job. When we meet challenges, we feel like we've accomplished something, which boosts our morale and productivity. Stress, on the other hand, is a different kettle of fish altogether. Stress can make us feel like we've been stripped of all our control. The good news is, you can have control. You just need to take it. Next, what is causing work-related stress? In this day and age, we are living in the worst recession since the Great Depression. Words like layoffs, budget cuts, bankruptcies, and mergers are all too familiar. With smaller staff, employees are facing a rising expectation of taking on more overtime and heavier workload without much of a rise in pay. Another contributing factor is that we are a developed nation. Did you know that developing nations experience much less stress than we do? This might be due to the fact that the United States is very much based on consumerism. Advertisers, although they are not the only ones to blame, have managed to convince us that our wants are needs, and this has made us work even more to make more money. In developing nations, however, people are more focused on relationships and family. Also, we live in the information age, and things are changing so fast in the workplace and with our work duty that we have to speed to keep up if we want to keep our jobs. In short, in the time and place that we are living in, occupational stress is a breeding ground in the United States. Moving on, what are the symptoms related to occupational stress? For most of us, occupational stress is not something we just develop at work and leave there. Instead, we take it home with us. This can have a negative effect on our health, mental, and social lives. According to the Journal of Occupational and Environmental Medicine, our bodies respond to stress through the fight or flight response. During this response, the body pumps adrenaline into our blood. This increases our heart rate, our breathing, and tenses our muscles. This is what Mother Nature intended, but only for a limited period of time. With occupational stress, however, this fight or flight response takes more time than it should, which breaks down our body and exposes us to an increased risk of heart disease, infectious diseases, stroke, ulcers. Furthermore, occupational stress can have mental effects such as fatigue, anxiety, depression, and even suicidal behaviors. And lastly, occupational stress affects our social life by making us more irritable. It can also increase domestic violence, work aggression, and also isolate us from other people.